Break procrastination today. Simple steps to take action now. Hello and welcome. I want to thank you for choosing this book, for taking this moment for yourself. This is a space of no judgment, only potential. If you've ever found yourself putting something off, watching the hours slip away with a growing sense of anxiety, yet feeling powerless to start, you are not alone. This book is your invitation to a different way of being. I will be your guide and break procrastination today. Simple steps to take action now. This isn't about harsh discipline or making you feel guilty. It's about understanding. It's about compassion for the parts of you that hesitate. And it's about providing that part with the simple, practical tools it needs to feel safe, confident, and ready to move forward. So find a comfortable place. Perhaps you're on a walk or commuting or relaxing at home. Wherever you are, just take a gentle, deep breath with me. In and out. Good. Let go of the pressure. Let go of the long to-do list for just a little while. And this time we have together, we are going to explore, to understand, and to build a new path, one simple step at a time. The fact that you are here, listening, is your first step. And I am truly honored to walk the rest of this path with you. Chapter 1. The Whisper of Delay. Understanding why we procrastinate before we can solve a problem. We must first understand it. Not to assign blame, but to bring it into the light. Procrastination is not a character flaw. It is not laziness. It is at its core an emotional regulation problem. It is a coping mechanism. When we face a task that feels overwhelming, boring, intimidating, or uncertain, our brain's ancient alarm system, the amygdala, can perceive it as a threat. Not a physical threat, like a lion, but a psychological threat. A threat of failure, of judgment, of discomfort. And what do we do with threats? We avoid them. We seek immediate relief. We check our phones. We scroll through social media. We clean the kitchen. We organize our desks. We do anything but the thing that is causing us that low-grade anxiety. This avoidance provides a temporary reward, a little hit of dopamine that makes us feel better in the moment. But it comes at a tremendous cost. The shadow of the unfinished task grows larger, the anxiety compounds, and the cycle of guilt and stress deepens. There are many faces of procrastination. Perhaps you procrastinate because of a fear of not being perfect. This is perfectionism, and it's a major driver. If you can't do it flawlessly, you reason why start at all. Perhaps it's a fear of the unknown. Starting a new project is like stepping into a dark room. The inertia of staying put feels safer. Maybe the task just feels too big, too monolithic, and you have no idea where to even begin. I want you to think for a moment about a task you are currently putting off. Don't judge it. Just observe it. What is the feeling associated with it? Overwhelm? Boredom? Fear of inadequacy? Just name it. By naming it, you take away some of its power. You are no longer blindly avoiding. You are understanding what you are avoiding and why. Understanding this, why, is the foundation. It transforms procrastination from a monstrous personal failure into a manageable pattern of behavior and patterns. Can be changed. Chapter 2. The Foundation, Cultivating Self-Compassion and Awareness. If you picked up this book hoping for a magical, punishingly strict regimen that would whip you into shape, you may be surprised by this chapter, but please, stay with me. This is the most important step, the soil in which all other strategies will grow. That soil is self-compassion. For years, you have likely been beating yourself up for procrastinating. Why am I so lazy? I have no willpower. I'm such a disappointment. This inner critic, while perhaps trying to motivate you, actually has the opposite effect. It increases the emotional distress associated with the task, making it an even bigger threat and strengthening the urge to avoid it. So we must change the dialogue. I want you to try something with me. Think of that task again. Notice the critical voice. Now I want you to imagine a kind, wise, and gentle friend. What would that friend say to you about this task? It wouldn't call you lazy. It might say it makes sense that you feel overwhelmed. This is a big project. Or it's okay to be nervous about starting something new. Or simply, I believe in you. You can handle this. That is the voice of self-compassion. It acknowledges the difficulty without judgment. It validates your feelings. And when we feel validated and supported, even by ourselves, our nervous system calms down. The threat level decreases. We move out of a reactive, fearful state and into a responsive, capable state. The next tool for our foundation is mindful awareness. This simply means noticing your procrastination habits without immediately acting on them. When you feel the urge to open a new browser tab instead of working, just notice it. Say to yourself, I am feeling the urge to procrastinate right now. Observe the physical sensations in your body. Is there tension in your shoulders, a restlessness in your hands? This act of noticing creates a tiny space between the impulse and the action. In that space lies your power to choose. You are no longer on autopilot. You are the conscious observer, the one who gets to decide what happens next. Self-compassion and mindful awareness are not passive. They are the active, gentle process of befriending yourself. So you have a supportive partner for the journey ahead, not a harsh critic standing in your way. Chapter 3. The 1-minute rule. Building momentum with microactions now. We move from the foundation to our first practical, powerful tool. We are going to make starting effortless. The biggest hurdle is often just the starting line. The weight of a task can make it feel like we need to move a mountain, so we won't try to move the mountain. We'll simply move one small single stone. I call this the 1-minute rule. The rule is simple. Commit to working on your dreaded task for just 1 minute. That's all. 60 seconds. You can do anything for 1 minute. If you have to write a report, your 1-minute task is open a new document and write the title. That's it. You need to clean the garage, your 1-minute task is go into the garage and put one tool away. If you need to start studying, your 1-minute task is read the first paragraph of the chapter. Why does this work so brilliantly? First, it completely dismantles the barrier of initiation. The psychological resistance to write a 20-page report is immense. The resistance to write a title is virtually zero. Second, and this is the magic, it often creates forward momentum. Once you have written the title, you might think, well, I could just jot down those 2 bullet points I was thinking about. After you put one tool away, you might see another and think, I'll just put this one back too. You have broken the state of inertia. You are in motion. And an object in motion, as they say, tends to stay in motion. The goal of the 1-minute rule is not to complete the task. The goal is only to start, to prove to yourself that you can interface with this task without the world ending, so that it is manageable. Some days you will do your 1 minute and stop. And that is a victory. You did what you set out to do. You kept your promise to yourself. Other days, that 1 minute will unlock a flow state, and you will work for 30 minutes or an hour. Celebrate both outcomes equally. The 1-minute rule builds a new habit, the habit of starting. And starting, my friend, is more than half the battle. Chapter 4. Taming the Mountain. The art of the next actionable step, the 1-minute rule, is perfect for getting started. But what about when a task still feels overwhelmingly large and complex? This is where we learn to tame the mountain, not by looking at the summit, but by focusing solely on the very next step. Our brains are excellent at handling concrete, specific actions. They are terrible at handling vague, nebulous concepts. Get in shape is vague. It's a mountain. Go for a 10-minute walk after lunch today is concrete. It's a single manageable step. Let's practice. Take one of your procrastinated tasks. I want you to break it down, but not just into smaller tasks. Break it down into what productivity experts call next actionable steps. A next actionable step is the very next physical, visible action you would take to move something forward. For example, the task plan vacation is vague and overwhelming. Broken into next actions, it becomes next action. Google best time to visit Italy. Following action, skim the top 3 search results. Following action, email my partner with 2 potential travel weeks. Do you see the difference? Each step is tiny, specific, and requires no further decision-making about what to do. You don't need to plan, you just need to Google. Another example, write quarterly report is a mountain. Open the report template from last quarter. Following action, save it with the new quarter's name. Following action, copy the data from spreadsheet A into the new document. When you define your next actionable step, you eliminate the paralysis of not knowing where to begin. You have a clear, immediate instruction for yourself. The cognitive load is lifted. Path forward, while long, is now a series of clear, small, manageable stones you can step on, one at a time. Always ask yourself, what is the very next smallest physical action I can take? Your job is not to climb the whole mountain today. Your job is just to take that one small next step. Chapter 5. Designing your environment for success. We have been working on the internal landscape, your thoughts and habits, but we are also deeply influenced by our external landscape, our environment. Willpower is a finite resource. I constantly drain it fighting distractions, when you can design your environment to make focus the path of least resistance. Your environment is either your greatest ally in the fight against procrastination, or it is your biggest enabler. Let's make it your ally. First, let's talk about the digital environment. Your phone, with its endless notifications, is a procrastination engine. It is designed to steal your attention. So, we must be intentional. During your focus work blocks, turn off all non-essential notifications. Better yet, put your phone in another room or in a drawer. If you work on a computer, use website blockers for your most tempting sites, social media, news for set periods of time. Make procrastination difficult. You are not weak. You are human, and you are simply removing the temptation. Next, your physical space. Create a dedicated space for deep work if you can. This tells your brain, when I am in this chair, it is time to focus. Keep this space clean and organized. A cluttered space often leads to a cluttered mind. Have everything you need for your task within arm's reach before you start. This prevents the "I just need to go get a pen" excuse that turns into a 30-minute distraction. Finally, design for energy, not just for time. Procrastination thrives when we are tired, hungry, or uncomfortable. Honor your biology. Have a glass of water nearby. Sure you have good lighting. Get up and stretch every 25 to 30 minutes. Pay attention to the times of day you feel most alert and creative, and schedule your most important tasks for those windows. Your environment should support your goals, not sabotage them. By making a few simple, intentional changes, you can create a space that almost effortlessly pulls you toward productivity and peace. Chapter 6. The Procrastinator's Best Friend. The unbreakable timer we have our micro-actions, our next steps, and a supportive environment. Now let's introduce one of the most powerful tools for sustained focus. A tool that has helped millions overcome procrastination, the timer. Specifically a technique known as the Pomodoro technique. It is elegantly simple. Here's how it works. 1. Choose your task. 2. Set a timer for 25 minutes. 3. Work on only that task until the timer rings. 4. When the timer rings, put a check mark on a piece of paper and take a short 5-minute break. 5. After 4 of these sessions, take a longer break, 15 to 30 minutes. Why is this so effective for procrastinators? First, it makes time concrete. You are not working on a report. You are working for 25 minutes. This is a finite, manageable period. Anyone can focus for 25 minutes. Second, it builds in mandatory rest. Procrastination is often a rebellion against endless draining work. The Pomodoro technique legitimizes breaks. It tells you it is not only okay to rest, it is part of the process. This prevents burnout and mental fatigue. Third, it trains your focus muscle. In a world of constant interruptions, 25 minutes of undivided attention is a superpower. This technique systematically trains your brain to resist the urge to switch tasks, to stay present, and to dive deep. If 25 minutes feels too long, start with 15. If it feels too short, try 45. The exact number is not sacred. The principle is. The principle is focused work interval, followed by deliberate rest. This rhythm is natural and sustainable. It transforms an endless, daunting workday into a series of focused sprints, each with a clear finish line and a deserved reward. Your timer becomes your best friend. It's the external authority that holds the space for you to focus, and then gives you permission to rest, guilt-free. Chapter 7. Weaving it all together. Your daily anti-procrastination ritual. We have covered a lot of beautiful, simple ground together. We have the mindset of self-compassion, the tactic of the 1-minute rule, the strategy of next actions, the support of a designed environment, and the engine of the timer. Now, let's weave these threads into a simple, daily ritual you can follow. This is not a rigid schedule to be anxious about. It is a flexible framework to support you. The evening before 5 minutes, practice self-compassion. Acknowledge that tomorrow may have its challenges, and that's okay. Review your tasks. Choose your one most important task for the next day. Break that one task down into its next actionable step. Design your environment for the morning. For example, set out your work materials, fill your water bottle, decide what you'll have for breakfast. The morning of. Begin your work session with your 1-minute rule. Commit to just that first tiny step of your next action. Once you've started, set your timer. Begin a 25-minute Pomodoro session. When the timer rings, honor your break. Stand up, stretch, look away from the screen. Do not skip the break. Repeat this cycle as needed. Throughout the day, practice mindful awareness. When you feel the pull of procrastination, pause. Breathe. Name the feeling. This is overwhelm. Then apply your tools. Can you shrink the task to just 1 minute? Can you define the very next action? Can you commit to just one more Pomodoro? This ritual is your anchor. On days when motivation is high, it will supercharge your productivity. On days when motivation is low, it will be the gentle, structured path that carries you forward, one small, manageable step at a time. We have come to the end of our time together, but this is truly just your beginning. You now hold a new understanding. You see procrastination not as a monster, but as a pattern that served a purpose, but one you can now outgrow. You have a toolkit, not of harsh punishments, but of gentle, powerful strategies. You have self-compassion to be your own supportive friend. You have the 1-minute rule to make starting effortless. You have next actions to tame any mountain. You have a designed environment to make focus easy. And you have your timer, your unbreakable friend, for rhythm and rest. You do not need to implement all of this at once. Start with one thing. Perhaps tomorrow you will simply practice naming your feelings of procrastination with kindness. The next day, you might try the 1-minute rule on one small task. Progress is not a straight line. There will be days when the old patterns feel strong. On those days, I want you to come back to this book. Listen to a chapter. Be gentle with yourself. Remember, this is a practice like learning an instrument or a new language. There will be moments of fluency and moments of stumbling. Both are part of the beautiful human process of growth. You have everything you need within you to break the cycle of procrastination. You have the awareness, you have the tools, you have the capacity for change. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to take simple steps, to take action now, and to create a life of greater peace, productivity, and purpose. Go gently.